Good evening. I am Daksh. I am the founder of Blub World magazine. Till now, we have covered, showcased, interacted with more than 200 such teenagers across the globe. And from time to time, we try to create K-12 industry white papers, which basically are repositories of learnings and ideas on what all new or innovative is going on in the K-12 education sector. What are the different ways and means through which educationists are innovating school education. So first of all, welcome all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 24th edition. We have done 23 such before this. More than 150 have participated in this till now, including UK, Nepal, Bhutan, India, Indonesia, Dubai, from a lot of more places. The purpose or the motive of doing this is every educationist or every section of the society is supposed to contribute to society in its own capabilities and its own ways. And as far as educators and educationists are concerned, our first duty is to decipher knowledge or to teach. And at the same time, it's also our responsibility to create the next level of knowledge that will be needed. So this particular activity is just to create that knowledge that the world will need and it needs at this moment during this lockdown. We are all right now experiencing something very new in our lives. We are all under an absolute lockdown to keep everybody safe from each other. So when social distancing is what matters, we have to come together to find new solutions to help school education. And I think you're doing that already in many great ways. Just to give you a brief of the kind of ideas and the content that we have been getting from school leaders. There's one school in a very small village in West Bengal, in Padua. They don't have internet, but still they had to continue teaching. So they gave a very innovative assignment to their kids. They told them to create a custom dictionary at home in which they have to add 5 new words every day. And once the school reopens, they bring that dictionary back home. There is one, I think the Indian Embassy school in Dubai or Oman, where what they've done is they've asked students to do an activity called Cartoon Speaks. That whatever newspaper, magazine you get hold of, you'll find a cartoon strip in it, cut it out, put it onto a paper, and write your interpretation of that cartoon on that sheet of paper. So again, that gives them an observation and interpretation skill. And a lot of more innovative things are happening across the nation. Just to share one more example, there's one Swaminarayan school in Gujarat. They have a hostel where they were not able to send their hostelers back home before the lockdown. So they currently are housing 50 hostelers in their hostel since the lockdown began. And they're doing some amazing work with them. They're making food, helping the society and doing a lot of different things. And these 50 kids come from some of the most affluent families from all across Gujarat. So we are trying to create an observation paper on what all do they do to keep these kids engaged. So our motive of doing this is to create an idea repository of small, little, big, whatever form of innovation you are doing, so that other schools across the globe can learn from that, experiment that, and then we can find some more big scalable solutions that stick with us, because technology is one part of it. We are all using EdTech. We are doing online classes. There are Zoom classes going on, online consultations, meetings, events. That's all we are doing. But the content and the engagement strategy of kids will drastically change and has already changed, because body language and gestures don't work very well on video. So let's find out what all innovating or innovation are you doing in your school to reach out to your students. So let's start from, ma'am, I cannot read your name. I can read iPad 8. So ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself.
Right. Hello, good evening. I'm Aruna Vishweshwar, Adhyapana School, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. And well, it's a pleasure to be here. So let me delve straight into the purpose. So I'd like to talk about, of course, we are having Zoom classes and assignments and activities and worksheets, all that is going on. But I'd like to specifically talk about, since you said about something that we're doing different, and I don't know if it's different or not. One of the things that we are doing is to develop the scientific curiosity in children. For example, I'd like to talk about an assignment that we have given to children, where we told them to make paper planes with different papers of different sizes. So that was the assignment: make at home paper planes of different sizes and different shapes, different folds, fly them within your homes and find out which paper, which size, which makes the best, is best for flying, right? And then we introduce them to the concept of streamlining, ask them to find out more about streamlining. And this was one of the activities that we had said. We said, you write your observations, give it to us, make a scrapbook on these, and bring your plates to school when school starts. So this is one of the assignments we've given. See, I'm sorry, Daksh, I cannot actually see Pallavi, but in any case, if you will raise your hand, that itself is fine. So I am not able to see Pallavi. Yes, I can see her. Okay. One of the assignments that we've given. Now the other one, like this, similar about carbon dioxide, we have asked them to use Coke, whatever they have at home, if they have at home, and take a bottle and fill it with something that will bring in the fizz, right? So this is one of the things that we've said. The other one is about oil and water, the immiscibility of liquid. So like this, we've been able to give them every day. So like this, we've said 3, 4, 5 is another group of children. Every day we give them a scientific skill to think about, to work on, to do experiments at home, and find out which kind of, what makes them think about different things. So this is one of the scientific acumen building skill that we've given them, right?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing those thoughts with us. Thank you. I think this paper plane activity is something interesting. We'd like to know more. Our team will connect. You can share some more details about it, and we'll try to take it to the paper if you find the right, mix of things in it. Thank you so much. And let's now hear it from Bijay Sahu, sir. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio. Your introduction, one personal learning, and one idea, innovation, or vision that other schools can learn from you. Over to you.
Yeah, namaskar, and this is Dr. Bijay Sahu from Bhubaneswar. I lead Sai International School. Actually, I have 2 roles, but since it's 2 minutes, I just talk on Sai International School. I also lead 314 others Vidyalayas of Orissa government English medium schools. So there the innovation and learning is separate. But let me now tell what we are doing in Sai International School. As you know, suddenly, government here announced, closure of schools. So within, next 7 days, we could up the learning, and we could, implement the entire cloud school in just 7 days, as if our slogan was, the school is not closed, the buildings are. So what we did, exactly as per the routine, we did everything. But something very innovative we did, because, I know a lot of schools are doing online classes, content, activities. So what we did, we created a project where, we told children, we are giving you a theme and a track, and we want 30 children to merge together with a beautiful song. So we could produce a beautiful song, which if you want, I can mail it to you. And if you look at that, video with the song track and real children singing, you'll not even imagine that this has been done, outside a studio. And that's the, level of, the project they did. The other project that we did is something called as Suprabhat. Yeah, this is very interesting. Now in the morning we are making parents to learn yoga from the children. So our standard 1 or standard 2 child is the yoga instructor, and parents are following that child and feeling bad. If the child can do like this, we should have done. So this is creating a lot of curiosity. Third thing that we are doing in the evening, we are selecting one family, and we are telling that you teach culinary or a particular food item, especially to your family or to your state or to your liking, and let other families learn. So that's how we are keeping families engaged. That, and they also feel good, because they are able to stream their what they're doing in these times of lockdown. So our intention is to engage every level of the family. It's not only our students whom we want to keep engaged. We want to engage the grandparents. We want to engage the the family members. We want to create a family project. We want to engage our children. So that's how we are trying to create some innovative model of schooling. And the learning now is, I can now go to any part of the world and organize a session, expert session, to the within the reach of our children. This I had never explored, that now when everyone is locked down and everyone is there back home and wants to talk, wants to disseminate their energy and their learning. It's very easy for me to connect to Canada, to connect to US, to connect to Australia, and tell that, can you just take a session for me? So they are able to do that. So these are few learnings, and I'm sure these sort of learnings are going to be much more in the coming days. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. I think two of your ideas will actually find space in the white paper that we'll try to take more information from you and take them to. And first, the children training parents yoga, and second, one family teaching one culinary dish to all other families. This family engagement program is something that's really innovative. Thank you so much for sharing that idea with us. We'll try to share it with maximum schools as we can. Now let's hear it from Bijoy sir. Bijoy sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
No, I just spoke.
Bijoya Padhi sir, Padhy.
Good evening. I am Dr. Vijay Chandra Padhi, Principal, Vikas the Concept School, Sambalpur. Thank you for giving the opportunity. As the previous panelists have spoken, online classes, assignments, these are regular feature. One thing I wanted to tell you, interestingly, that in class 9 there is a story, The Fun They Had by Isaac Asimov. So from last 20 years I was thinking that in India also the studies could be like that, and fortunately or unfortunately it has come to show that now children are studying paperless. That, because being an environmentalist, I liked that the most. Now coming to talk about the innovative practices, in addition to the regular teachings and assignments, we have asked our students to, as Vijay sir also told, write a song, write a poetry or a story and upload along with the assignment. Culinary practices, as sir has spoken, we also do the same. And one thing more I have introduced here, that is, we have given specific instruction to teachers that every day they go to the class, let them talk about observing the beauty of nature. Let the students find the difference, what they are feeling during this, what are the positive things they are feeling about the nature that they should observe and note down. So these are the things. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing those thoughts with us. Nature study is something that a lot of schools are taking up. I think just to add one more observation to it, we have talked to nearly 150 school leaders till now. And what we could very easily understand, that this was the time when life skills have taken a front seat and academics has taken a back seat. And we are trying to push academics in all the ways possible. One very innovative approach that a lot of schools are doing right now is they're using flip learning. And flip learning simply telling students to learn the chapter and tell it to the teacher. But one very nice thing one of the schools has done, I forgot the name of the school, they've asked their teachers to create a 60-second teaser of each chapter. And this teaser should be so interesting that students get super excited about learning that chapter. The teacher is trying to find different modes of exciting the student on some chapter and creating that 60-minute teaser like a movie trailer, where he speaks and try to engage students in that way. So again, now let's hear it from Rukmini ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself.
Namaste. Thank you, Mr. Daksh, for having arranged a forum of this kind. To be very honest, I thought the virtual schools will come into existence maybe 10 years or after 20 years down the line, but no, it has come into existence now. Though this lockdown has a very though it is very, very sad thing that is happening to humanity, there's going to be a lot of changes in our social outlook post-lockdown. But still, it has brought a lot of things as far as the education sector is concerned. We have faced a lot of, I mean, one thing that I constantly, updating us on the life threats of corona pandemic. And of course, the family members are going to talk about the economical setbacks that they're going to suffer from for the next few years. So the only way we thought was we need to engage these children, and that was from our homes to them and in platform only. So, I mean, so the only way is to get connected to them digitally. As you rightly pointed out, we have decided that more than the academics, we wanted to engage children in a very, very constructive and their interest. So what we did was, we thought beyond academics, the areas that we need to emphasize or we need some kind of a development was on the communication skills, the value education, and of course the hands-on activities, which will, keep them engrossed. So we did share a lot of activities, and we insisted that these activities or these projects should be done only from the resources that is available at home. We are encouraging children to look around for the required resources and put them to use. So these are the interesting projects that we have given them, like preparing the bird feeders, the masks, etc. And even the and tomorrow is going to be the no shadow day, which we have been given uploaded tomorrow. So I should say that this was a very, very interesting activity which we are going to upload it tomorrow. And of course, I would like to say that there were many learnings for us out of this lockdown period. One thing is, since it's a complete transition from chalk talk method to digital presentations, teachers were exploring and looking for alternate strategies, teaching strategies. And as you rightly pointed out, like one of the schools has brought out teasers, we have brought out videos. We have customized to the lesson modules that is required. I mean, one of our faculty members, he has just downloaded this Wynod software. He downloaded the tutorials, and in 2 days' time, he prepared some 3 to 4 modules. One was for the Tamil department, one for the so perfect collaboration. Tamil department, computer science department, we came together, we prepared the capsule, which was very easy for children to understand. So these are the kind of things,
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing those thoughts. I'm sorry the time ended. We'll try to take your thoughts if possible in the coming time. Thank you so much, Rukmini, ma'am. It was nice to know what all you're doing at your school. Now let's hear it from Shashwant, sir. Shashwant, sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Dr. for organizing this forum. And I'm Ravi Vijayvargi from Kota, Rajasthan. Regarding talking about this topic that there should be no lockdown in learning, when I was thinking about the content, I think the innovative content is so much available that internet is flooded with the innovative ideas and contents. The actual challenge which I faced was that how to ensure that 60% of the students are not dumping the assignments with their prevailing mindset of finishing their homeworks in last 2 days of vacations. How to ensure the active, regular and enthusiastic participation of the students in these assignments. So I observed that challenge is not that particular innovative idea. The challenge is the execution of that innovative idea at the end point. So after some contemplation, I reached to a conclusion that the only one of the best solution is that we need to empower our parents. We need to make our parents understand, realize, feel and accept that they are the ones who are sitting on the driving seat for the time being. We are in a supportive role. So now, but how to empower them? How to increase their participation or role in this process? we did few things in our school. First was that we optimized the direct communication with the parents. Communication of the principal, communication of the teachers, calls being there, write-ups and letters on the WhatsApp, everything is being sent. Second thing what we did was that with the assignments which we are preparing, we are ensuring that it should be interesting for the students, but it should be interesting for their parents and grandparents also. They must also love to engage in those assignments. We are trying to choose those type of assignments. The third thing which we are taking care of is that the assignment should provide engagement of around 2 to 3 hours of the students and 30 minutes to 1 hour of the parents. That will be justified. And the fourth thing which we are doing is that we are announcing few competitions online. Also, we have declared few competitions which will be there post-lockdown. For example, we have announced a competition for playing of instruments, so that the students can start preparing those things for the time being, and after the lockdown gets over, there will be a competition in the school and the students will be awarded. More ideas are there. If we are having time, we can share one or two more things if you allow me. For example, in kindergarten, a student...
Thank you, sir. Ravi, sir. your time's up. Thank you so much.
Okay, but the last line, I just want to convey that as per my perception, as per my understanding, challenge is not only having an innovative idea. The challenge is execution of that particular innovative idea at the end point. If the student does not implies on it, executes on it, then our efforts will go in vain. That was all from my side. Thank you so much. Happy lockdown and happy learning.
Thank you so much, sir. So just to, find a solution to this problem where the students were dumping the projects or actually doing the projects, one school started a very innovative activity where every student has to write a teacher review after every class. He has to rate the teacher on what good did he teach, what bad did he teach. And that has to be done after every class. So they're doing a 40-minute class, a 20-minute break. And within that 20-minute break, they have to write the review of the teacher, that how interesting or how engaging was that class. So that's one more mode of engaging. There are a lot of digital pranks that are happening right now. So what, a very innovative solution that was brought out by Dhirubhai Ambani International School in Mumbai, that's run by the Reliance Foundation. What their kids were doing, that they were taking Zoom videos of their teachers and swapping the audio on it, and then doing a lot of different pranks with that. So what they did was they started teaching these kids technology only. They started teaching them programming during this time, and they're right now creating their physics experiments through simulation by coding and doing a lot of programming. So people are trying out different approaches to engage kids and finally find content and actual commitment from them. For instance, DPS Nagpur has asked its parents to sit with the student in each class. So that's a bit tiresome, but yes, DPS is experimenting on that to maintain the students' sincerity in the class. So I think, sir, I cannot read your name here. You can unmute yourself. I cannot see your name here, but you are in a black t-shirt. That's what I can see.
Ravi Vijayvargi from Kota, Rajasthan.
Ravi, yours is done. There's one more gentleman. I'll just on private chat. I can read 6A597F12.
Good evening. I'm Ravindra Kumar Srivastava. Hello. I'm Ravindra Kumar Srivastava. I'm from BGS School. BGS School, Chikmagalur.
Please speak.
Yeah. So actually, first you have told me that what we have learned from this lockdown. I can tell you that we have learned first thing. Any situation can come anytime. We should be ready to handle the situation in different type of thinking and activities. And what are the things we have done? First thing, we have given the assignment to 1st to 9th standard student to complete it and then submit within 30th April. So they have done, this is the first thing we have done. And second thing, we have already told, as you told, some schools they are doing to create some, spelling, they have to learn 5 spellings. We have already told them whenever holidays comes, they have to learn at least 10 spellings every day. So in that way, they can be very rich in the spellings, and nearly so many thousands of spellings they can learn. And some Scouts Guide activity, which we have got from the Scout Guide person, we have given online to complete it and submit. And a main thing actually, we are more than less than 10% of the schools in India, I think they are digitally equipped. So I am thinking now after this lockdown, we are going to have so many schools who can give the digital platform to all the students. And whenever this kind of situation comes, we should be able to give them education through online. So these are the things I am thinking it will be happening after the lockdown. And main thing actually, we are trying to say that as a math teacher, actually, the thing is we are giving them to learn the formulas also and have so much formulas and definitions at one place. So after the lockdown, they will have so many of learning, and whatever doubts they have, it will be clear to them.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing those thoughts with us.
Thank you.
You've asked them to create repositories of words and repositories of formulas that finally they can learn, and if they have doubts, they can clear that once they come back to school.
Also, I have told them creative writing also.
Creative writing also. Thank you so much for sharing that. Rukmini ma'am has asked for 1 more minute. Ma'am, over to you for the next 1 minute, please. You can unmute yourself first.
Yeah, I think I'm audible now.
Yeah.
Okay. The most important thing was that we have created activities to enrich the cultural and intellectual aspects. So what we have a site and requested parents to sit along with children and recite these slokas. Thanks to our management members who came up with this idea where they said the family and it has to be built up. We have also uploaded our health bites in our website, which we keep disseminating through our WhatsApp groups, right from 2nd standard to 12th standard. And also, yes, we brought out a motivational video where we have conveyed this message to all our parents and our students saying that let's remain positive. I mean, these difficult times, we have given various activities also being, being part of the activities that is being done by students. And then, of course,
I think this one idea we'll try to take forward, recitation of shlokas with the family and creating a video around that. That's something interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. Aruna ma'am, I'll try to give you 1 minute in some time. Just give us some more time to take the thoughts. We'll try to give you 1 minute in some time. So now, actually, within each talk, we try to bring in a different perspective where we try to get somebody other than school leaders as well within the whole discussion. For one day, it was the financial advisors from Anand Rathi on how do you manage the school finances during this time when taking the fees has been deferred by the governments and it's getting difficult for the management to take care of the overheads and the salaries. And today we have somebody from technology background. So let's hear it from Manish ji on what innovative is he or his technology company is doing during this time of the lockdown. Over to Manish ji for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Daksh. Such a lovely audience and co-educators, and thanks for organizing this session. Just hold on. Thanks for organizing this. As we see, innovative ideas. Various schools are experimenting and implementing in the phase of lockdown. First of all, I appreciate the way every school is coming up with innovative ideas. Especially, I really like, what Bijua sir from Sambalpur school, environment friendly motive, nature and real world of experience. Ravi sir from Kota, very interesting point of actively, regularly engaging students by active participation and focusing more on the execution side, not only the delivery of concepts to the students, but ensuring that they are executing and they are also receiving the same. Having said all this, I would like to briefly introduce our company first, which is a technology company in the education space. And in 1 minute, I would like to introduce the company. It is founded by founders from the technology background. And before coming up something in the education space, they traveled across India to understand what they wanted to do in education. And what we realized, there are so many content players available, but there is no player with relevant content for students and the teachers both. And post that, they have come up with very unique concept of small, very bite-sized, high-quality videos, which help us as a aid to the teachers. So for example, teachers only has 40-45 minutes in a period to explain it to any, strength of students. But imagine if a lecture is delivered in a way that student experience and they help visualize things what they are teaching. It helps retention the concepts better actually. And most importantly, there are many lengthy videos. There are videos available in the market with the teacher leading the content. So teacher in a class is actually a hero of the class. And if we have another one teacher leading the class in a video, the teacher in the class loses its importance. And then they started feeling uncomfortable teaching with the students. So we have come up with a very experiential content. For example, how can you engage students sitting in a home virtually engage with the teacher? It's very difficult with the lengthy videos or most text heavy kind of videos. With that, I would like to draw your attention towards a couple of products which may help you understand how we are coming up with addressing this solution, where teachers themselves are participating to the extent in helping students visualize things. I really imagine, when I was a student, I learned about pancreas, but I could not imagine where it is located in a human body. Let's students sitting in a home, if we experience them or showcase them where actually a pancreas is located in a human body, he will not be able to forget right from class 6. He will not be able to forget across his life, where the all organs are placed in a human body. So I'll draw your attention towards a couple of products we have. Can you all see my screen, please? Dux, can you see my screen?
Yeah, please.
I think there's some issue with this. Give me a minute, huh? Let me share my other screen.
Till Manish ji's video gets ready, let's hear it from Aruna ma'am. Ma'am, you wanted 1 minute. Over to you for the next 1 minute. You can unmute.
Can you? Yes, I've unmuted. So I just wanted to talk about two things which might be of help to everybody. Because Zoom, there is a lot of traffic. I thought I'll share with you another app, the name of which is Blue Jeans. It is the biggest advantage is that The developer is an Indian, my former student, and he has just sold his company for $500 million to Verizon. But the best part about this is it is not routed through China. The data security is what is their USP. So this is one thing I wanted to share. Number two, this morning I have sent to you, the Blub World, a song that we created. One of the ideas that we promoted to the children was to make a song which the whole class has as a jingle. And this morning, we teachers have made we made it, each one recording from home. Teachers have made it, and I just shared it with the Blub World. The name of the song is Spreading Hope, and we actually made it on the base, the same tune as We Shall Overcome, with the lyrics based on Corona.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think two of the pieces of information that you've given are quite interesting. First, this Blue Jeans app that one of your students has done. Please try sharing some more details about it. We'll try to even experiment with that. And that has been now taken over by Verizon. It's also, again, something very nice. And secondly, where you have started doing a jingle, or you've created a song or audio content, try to share that with us. We'll try. If you've already shared, my team will get in touch and we'll have it here.
I shared it with you this morning. I have shared it with you. Raksha has already acknowledged it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll try to share it with others. So, Manish, is your screen ready now? Hello?
Just starting, huh?
Objective. To study about neural control and coordination, the ear, or phonoreceptor, or statoacoustic organ, Part 1. The ear is the organ for hearing and balancing or equilibrium. Anatomically, the ear is divided into 3 regions, namely the external ear, middle ear, and inner ear. The external ear. The external ear is derived from the ectoderm. It consists of the pinna, or auricle, the external auditory meatus, or auditory canal, and the tympanum, or eardrum. The pinna is a flap of elastic cartilage covered by skin. It has a specific shape for collecting sound vibrations. The auricular muscles that can move the pinna in many animals are vestigial.
So all the content we have come up with is exactly 5 to 7 minutes to the maximum length, so that a teacher teaching in a class can show this kind of a content to student, which help them visualize and then take on the rest of the lecture themselves. I'll draw your attention towards another video wherein we have converted every image in a NCERT book, converted into an AR image. You see, from the if a student is looking at the book, they can only see the front side of the any object we are teaching about. But if we provide access to such kind of content, they will retain the concept forever. try to show you another.
Thank you, Maniji, for sharing that.
One more thing.
Actually, we've come to the end of the time, so we
just
should
one more,
take it.
just one more second, Daksh. I just wanted to show this very interesting stuff. It will not take more than a minute. So we have seen a small video of how an ear functions 2 minutes back. And imagine if you provide any student access to such kind of simulations, wherein they can even play with this. And then they can see where actually, you know, every object or every organ is placed. Like, you know, how ear is placed inside this whole skull. And moreover, student can learn the definition by, you know, clicking on every part, and they can see and read the definition. So learning and retention power of every student will be very high using such kind of content. The another part which the last point from my side is we have made it not dependent on internet. So any teacher wants to use such kind of content, that too free of cost, it will be not dependent on internet at all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Manish, for sharing those insights and thoughts about what you've been doing. You can stop sharing your screen now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daksh.
Thank you, Manish. So before this talk comes to a conclusion, I just want to give you two simple thoughts that's food for your thought, so that when we meet next or we talk next, we have some more interesting content coming in from you. First, at the moment, we are all right now in a lockdown or a corona world. And we are solving our, education problems in different ways of innovations that we can do at our own pace. We should all at this very point try to imagine that we will hopefully be very soon in a post-corona world or a post-lockdown world. And once we go into that world, the characteristics of the student that you have in your class and the teacher that you have in your class will drastically change. And their dynamics will change, because your student during these days of online teaching will get accustomed to one-on-one teaching. And once he comes back to that one-to-many teaching, the dynamics of the class will change. And with that, you'll have to again ponder on the skill sets that you need in an educator. Because just delivering information is no more a big skill for a teacher, because technology can do that very easily. So what new skills will you be looking at in your new or future educators? Try to document that and try to share that with us. And what new skills would you want in your students? Because just academics won't help them anymore. Now you have to make a student better than technology in any case. Because whatever technology can do, a student won't get a job for that. So for the future jobs, you have to make him future ready. So what we think, after talking to so many people, there are two skills which we will have to decipher to them in the coming times. First one being creativity. Creativity not in the sense of colors and paintings and drawings. Creativity in the sense of observation skills, critical thinking, actually learning to think. And second, we'll have to give them wisdom, and actually good wisdom. Because once you give them access to technology, you open the internet to them. And once you open internet, you open everything to them, and you cannot monitor that. The only person who can monitor him on the internet is he or her, himself or herself. So wisdom is something that takes the front seat now. And these two are the most difficult to decipher. So let's hope we find new and innovative ways to deliver that. If you have any thoughts, please share it with us. If during this whole talk you were not able to share something, if something was left out due to the time limitation, our team will connect with you, share whatever innovation you are doing. We are trying to find India's most creative school right now. If you, your teachers, your students, your parents are doing anything creative, share it with us. We have a big cash prize waiting for you. Our teams will share the details with you. So if you enjoyed the whole talk and want to attend the future talks again, then please unmute your audio and say a big yes. And thank you so much for taking out the time for being with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Daksh.
Well, and 3 cheers
Very
to you.
much,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Would like to participate again.
This is Rukmini from Sindhi Model School, Chennai. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.